Can you close the door? Can you close the door?
Huh?
Close the door. All right, testing. Testing in the mic, 1, 2. We are about to be live. I think we are. Welcome everyone to another episode of 2K Universe Weekly or 2KU Saturdays. I can't even remember my own show's names, but we are now in week 7. We are at the halfway point in the season. I'm going to let the Discord know. Package stuff I gotta get out of the way. That sign, Danny, I'm looking at the Discord right now. That sign you posted goes really hard. I don't know what happened. I don't know why we posted it, but if it's just funny or if something funny actually happened. Check the chat. But today we got a Big East showdown for you here. The UConn Huskies taking on the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. We'll let Rutgers wear the All Blacks tonight. They'll be taking on UConn. I think that looks good. I'm going to actually... I haven't finished a lot of the actual scores. I actually need to look at the roster before you get started here. But today, I'm going to look at the actual scores. Because I don't have the 2KU scores updated right now. I'm a bit behind on it if I'm being honest. We'll start with Connecticut here. Connecticut being a very surprising team. They're the number 16 team in the country. And one of the best teams in the Big East right now in a very loaded Big East North. They're led here by quarterback Matt Black, a junior from LaGrange, Georgia. At halfback is Tim Berry, another junior, redshirt from Glen Cove, New York. Jared Hill is a redshirt sophomore from Trumbull, Connecticut. He's also a big player here. The fullback, Mark Jones, is from Shirley, New York, another redshirt junior. Redshirt junior Marcus Hollis is the number 1 receiver from Martinez, Georgia. Jed Edwards is another receiver out of Ashbury Park, New Jersey. And Tim Spence is a true junior from South Boston, Virginia. The starting tight end is Nate Castillo, a sophomore, redshirt sophomore from East Haven, Connecticut. Left tackle, James Holycross, one of the best tackles in the Big East, a redshirt senior from Salem, Virginia. Redshirt senior A.J. Anderson is from Harrison, Pennsylvania. Redshirt freshman at center is Jason Scott from Mission Bend, Texas. Right guard from Plymouth, New Hampshire, redshirt junior Brandon Diggs. And right tackle, an All-American according to this, redshirt senior from Pequoson, Virginia, Mike Rhodes. Move to the defense, Leonard McAfee, redshirt senior from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. The right end is Jacques Ingram from Drexel Hill, Pennsylvania, a redshirt junior. On the defensive tackle, another All-American from Connecticut, New York, the redshirt senior Matt Dunn. Also joined by redshirt freshman from Peekskill, New York, Mike Walton. Left outside linebacker is Dan Newsom, redshirt sophomore from Wallingford Center, Connecticut. Zach Parsons is a redshirt junior from Weymouth, Massachusetts. Right outside linebacker, all the way from Milledgeville, Georgia, the redshirt sophomore Russ Kane. In the corner, true senior Heath Jackson from Calhoun, Georgia. Ryan Thompson, redshirt sophomore, all the way from Miami, Florida. Eugene Coker, redshirt freshman from Cape Coral, Florida. And Brian Collins, redshirt sophomore from Thompson, Georgia. The free safety is Aaron Tyler, redshirt junior from Nanticoke, Pennsylvania. And the strong safety, 83 overall Jermaine Brown, redshirt junior from Meriden, Connecticut. Check. Hi, Rezib. Thanks for stopping by. First time catching you on one of these streams. Oh, I forgot to look at their special teams. Hang on. We're just running through since you just got here. They have some 90s on the roster. Those are on the offensive side of the ball, though. Their kicker is Scott Brown, a redshirt senior from Uniontown, Pennsylvania, and their punter from Hazleton, Pennsylvania, redshirt senior. Probably the best player on their team, 92 overall, Adam Harper. Here's their overalls in total. James Holycross, redshirt senior. Most likely will end up being an All-American, as will Adam Harper. Matt Black is the big star on offense, the quarterback from Connecticut. We'll mention their coaches because I haven't done that before for this, but I want to do it this week. I think it's fitting. Let's head to Rutgers, who are the home team in this one. Their starting quarterback is Dustin Cox, a junior from Bayonne, New Jersey. You may remember him from a great performance in Week 0 against Princeton. Their starting halfback is Jonathan Sanchez, a true senior from Rutherford, New Jersey. Also, keep an eye out for Jeremy Peterson, redshirt sophomore from Fair Lawn, New Jersey. Their fullback is Shelton Moss, a redshirt junior from Somerset, New Jersey. Their wideout. This guy was a star in Week 0. He was our player of the week in Week 0. Gregg Kidd, redshirt junior from Aspen Hill, Maryland. Maybe one of the best wideouts in the Big East. When all said and done, Brad Vaughn is a redshirt senior from Brick Township, New Jersey. Jeremy Monroe is a junior from Cranford, New Jersey. And John Clark is a sophomore from Englewood, New Jersey. Those will probably be the names you'll see today. Cortez McNeil is the starting tight end, a redshirt senior from Hampton, Pennsylvania. On the O-line, 93 overall, true junior from East Bradenton, Florida, Jared Clifford. The left guard is Marcus Walters, a redshirt senior from Naples, Florida. At the center is Joey Matthews, redshirt junior from Manchester, Iowa. Right guard from Utica, New York is Marcus Blanchard, a redshirt senior. And rounding out the O-line, redshirt freshman out of Butler, Pennsylvania, Eddie Houston. On the defensive side, 86 overall, redshirt senior, from Camden, Delaware, Keith Green at left end. At right end is Lance Johnson from Homestead, Florida, a true senior. Up next is 84 overall, J.J. Coleman, redshirt senior from Irvington, New Jersey. His best performance we've seen was something that happened last year. He had a monster performance against West Virginia in the Big East title game last year. Also on the interior line is Sam Carter, a junior from Eustis, Florida. And in the linebacking core, Marcus Young is a redshirt senior from Newark, Delaware. The middle linebacker out of Fort Lee, New Jersey, is a redshirt freshman, Torrey Cantrell. The right linebacker, a true junior from Lewistown, Pennsylvania, the junior Lance Kelly. In the secondary, Zach Nicholson is a redshirt sophomore from South Plainfield, New Jersey. Barrett Henry is a true freshman from Jersey City. You might see a bit of Brian Brown as well, a redshirt junior from Pompano Beach, Florida. The free safety from New Brunswick, New Jersey, a hometown kid, And the redshirt freshman Jared Leslie. CJ Medley is your strong safety, a redshirt junior from Chilham, Maryland. The kicker is Sean Bass or Bass, I don't know. I'll go with Sean Bass. I think it is Bass. Sean Bass, sophomore from Melbourne, Florida. And the punter, David Bowers from Old Bridge, New Jersey. He's a redshirt sophomore. Hello, Danny. Welcome. I'm going to do something I hadn't done yet and look at coaches. We do have some firings that Danny can report on. Boston College's head coach and I believe it was Cincinnati's as well got let go. No, it was Arkansas. Arkansas's Matthew Coker got let go. I'll have to update that later. But we want in this game, it's the American. But Ricky Pennington is the head coach for UConn. He's been there 3 years. Led them to a bowl win last year, I believe in the International Bowl over it was the Pinstripe Bowl, pardon me, over Yale, I believe. Danny, can you fill that in for me? But he'll be going up against Justin Cooper, who apparently is new at this job. Another thing I had to update, he was here last year. I think he was here a couple of years. But Justin Cooper was the guy who led Rutgers to the Peach Bowl last year, a Big East title as well. They would end up losing that game to Northern Illinois. Yeah, Boston College's head coach got canned. For the uninitiated, UConn, Rutgers, and Boston College all share Big East bids, or all share the Big East Conference. Let's get the actual teams in here. I had the uniforms set up earlier. I'm going to go with the silver, or the navy there. And we wanted Rutgers in all black. We'll go with this. Yeah, Colorado State. On the rosters, UConn has the slight edge on offense. It's practically tied on defense. But we're heading to SHI Stadium. We'll do a 6. Watch it transition. I'll randomize it. Why not? Ooh, we're snowing tonight. All right. I let fate decide. We're snowy and we're a little windy as well. It reset. Hang on. We had a snow game that we simmed when UMass beat West Virginia. The Big East North Division is actually very tightly contested right now. UConn and Rutgers are the top 2 right now. Syracuse is also ranked in between these two teams. Look on the outside, looking into the top 25, and currently projected to win the division at least according to some, would be UMass, who is sitting at 5-1, as are the Huskies. Danny, if you want to give me the records for the top teams here in the Big East North. The Big East South right now is currently in the driver's seat is Temple. They got a big win over West Virginia, and they've taken control since then. But we are ready to go. UConn's undefeated. That's right. UConn is currently 6-0. They haven't lost in conference. UMass is 5-1. I believe they're also unbeaten in conference play. Yeah, they're 5-1 with a 3-0 conference record. I believe next would be Syracuse, who after a tough loss to begin the year have slowly climbed their way back into contention. Syracuse also 5-1, 3-0. And right there in 4th would be Rutgers, who I believe have 2 losses. They are 4-2. 1 loss in conference. Their other loss was to Oklahoma State, who's the current number 1. If you can give me who was their loss. Oh, yeah, UConn's had a great turnaround this year. But we're playing in the snow tonight. Snow in October, for those not up here, it's not as uncommon as you'd think. I've had it snow on Halloween before. Yeah, they lost to Oklahoma State. I believe Syracuse's one loss was to, I want to say, LSU, who's also in the top 5. But we're here at what was then called High Point Solutions, what's now SHI. Syracuse's loss was to Tennessee, that's right. But here are the Huskies and the Scarlet Knights. Hoping for another snowy Big East Classic like we had with West Virginia at UMass. And we're underway. UConn will get it to start. Take it from the 1 to the 5 to the 10 to the 15, over to the 20, down to the 25-yard line. Got a rivalry game. I don't know the name of the rivalry, if anyone can fill me in on that. This is the first time UConn's taken the field. I believe they run a more run-heavy offense. And play action. Here's a big throw. Wide open. Over to the 50. Pushed out of bounds to the 48. Nate Castillo made the reception, and that's the first completion and first play for Matt Black in the upper echelon of Big East quarterbacks. Keep an eye out for him when we get at the end of the year when we announce the all-conference teams. I don't know why. Oh, my battery's low. That's why. Hang on. My screen is really dark because I've forgotten to charge my phone. Short throw to the right. Gets about 7 or 8. That's Nate Castillo once again. Another throw in the middle. The Matt Black throw to Jed Edwards for a first down. I'm going to have to look away from chat for a second. My phone's got to charge. Here's a great run up the middle for Barry. Tim Barry gets 11 yards. Black throwing over the middle, caught in traffic. Marcus Hollis gets 12 yards. Matt Black is 4 for 4 on this drive. Looking to score first. Run stuffed. Tim Barry will lose a yard. No matter what this game decides, even the winner of this game is not out of the woods yet. Rutgers still has a lot to deal with, as would UConn. UConn ends their season against UMass, and there's a sack and a fumble picked up by UConn's lineman. It'll be a loss of 8 yards. Nearly disaster, but they managed to scoop up, and it's only a really unlucky occurrence. I'm going to let my phone charge for a little bit. From the 15, 3rd and goal. 5 wide. Throws to the right. Intercepted. Stolen away from them by the secondary. That's Zach Nicholson. Thank you, game. And now they get the ball in their own territory. From their own 20-yard line, 1st and 10, 4 wide. They'll drop back, throwing on the left side for about 8-9 yards to Cortez McNeil. First throw for Dustin Cox. As previously mentioned, his biggest game this year was to start the year against Princeton. There's the handoff. He'll lose a yard. Jonathan Sanchez on the run. I'm going to actually stand up. Zach Parsons gets the TFL. Stand up and read chat over here. Thank you for the updates, Danny. Handoff and just barely gets it. 2-yard gain for Sanchez. New set of downs from the 25. 1st and 10 Rutgers. Plenty of time to throw it. This one's intercepted. It's going the other way. And he might have a room for it. Just short of the end zone. It'll be 1st and goal from the 1. UConn gets it right back. Brian Collins with the pick. Almost the pick 6. And momentum swings the other way. It'll be 1st and goal from the 1. They're going to pass it on the goal line. Playing time throwing a million will. And this one's intercepted. And he'll take a knee in the end zone, and we're going back to the 20. Shades of Super Bowl 49 IRL. We are nearly halfway through the first quarter, and nearly all this game has been played just around the red zone of Rutgers. As we go under 3 minutes in the first. 3 combined interceptions in a row. The snow is not forgiving. You're 2nd and 9. Another handoff. Oh, what a hit. Zach Parsons levels Jonathan Sanchez for a 1-yard loss. They converted 3rd down earlier. Can they do it again? Handoff. He's not going to get anything. A good 3 yards. Jeremy Peterson was the running back there. 4th and 7, and they'll punt it. A 3 and out for the Scarlet Knights. As this punt's deep. Taken to the 30, and it'll get to about the 32, 33. Heath Jackson was on the return. We've had 3 picks total this game. A nearly forced fumble. And hopefully they don't have as much disaster as their last possessions. Tim Berry will get 3 on the run. I always think they're about to get injured when they stay down for a little too long, but they're back up. Plenty of time to throw for Matt Black. He'll throw it short on the slot, almost intercepted, but Tim Berry makes a great catch and a 6-yard gain. It'll be 3rd and 2 for the Huskies. Another big news headline for the Big East this year. They moved their conference title game to Meadowlands in East Rutherford. It was at Lincoln Financial in Philadelphia, but they moved it to the big city to a bigger city out in New York. And UConn will punt it here. It'll be 4th and 3. I sense a low-scoring scrum of a game for this one. As this punt's deep. And it'll bounce into the end zone for a touchback. And we're going to go back to the Rutgers 20. Rutgers has had the ball, 3 times, and the furthest they've gotten was to about the 35. As there's a 1-yard gain, Jonathan Sanchez. Second and 9 for the Scarlet Knights. .48 seconds to go. Cox throwing on the slot. And it'll lose 4. It'll be 3rd and long. Jonathan Sanchez got the reception, which is nowhere to go there. Great tackle for number 29 there. I didn't show the name. Rutgers 50-50 on 3rd down so far. Pressure. He'll heave this one deep. And it's caught. Down to the 26-yard line. Brad Vaughn. Number 7, a 62-yard bomb. And that'll set them up just on outside of UConn's red zone. 24 seconds go in the first. So it's entirely possible we're heading back to that other side of the field. Handoff, stuffed. He'll lose a yard. Dan Newsome with the TFL. And Razib, hold your thoughts on that UConn defense. And that'll be the end of the first quarter. We'll come back 2nd and 11. We're still scoreless after 1. Turnovers aplenty, though. I'm going to go check chat once again. My phone's still charging. Yeah, the situation for Rutgers, they need to win out, and they need Syracuse to lose out. Throwing short, and that one will be batted down, incomplete. Keith Jackson is credited there with a deflection. 3rd and 11. Here's Cox throwing over the middle, caught, but not enough for the first. Cortez McNeil only gets 3 yards on that one, and they'll likely send out the field goal unit. That's about a 40-yarder. 40-yarder in the cold. It is good. And Rutgers scores first here in the second quarter, taking a 3-0 lead. Bass kicks it out to the goal line, to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, barreling to about the 25. Rutgers' defense has been huge for them. How well they play. There hasn't been too much daylight between these two teams. In games like this, some players try to press too much, and that can cause mistakes. There's a handoff, stuffed. He will get 2 yards. Tim Berry on the run. He's had 14 yards today. Hey, we're tied at the funny number in terms of total yards on the day. You won't see that happen very often. Here's play action. Matt Black throwing this one wide open. And a little step out of bounds at their 30-yard gain. Marcus Hollis. Matt Black nearly approaching 93, nearly approaching 100 yards. He would have had 100 and a touchdown if he didn't have that misstep out of bounds. Taken from the Rutgers 41. 5 minutes to go. Black throwing over the middle. It's caught by Matt Dukes for 8 yards. There's a handoff. Just short of the first down. It'll be 3rd and inches. There's the handoff. Plenty of room for a first down to about the 27-yard line for Tim Berry. And you hope those cheerleaders get somewhere warm. It is freezing out there, I bet. Rolling right is Black. He'll heave this one to the right side, incomplete. Didn't like the look, so he just gets rid of it. 2nd and 10. And 26. Just over 4 minutes to go here. Tight end motion. Gonna throw in trouble. He's got a man. Touchdown, UConn. Marcus Hollis. And Matt Black gets his first touchdown. He was wide open there. And the first touchdown of the UConn Rutgers Ice Bowl. But to take control of this game, you'd have to hold the Scarlet Knights to a stop here. Easier said than done. They'll take it from their own end zone. Pushed out behind the 20. He'll only get to about the 20, 21-yard line. Brandon McLaurin, sorry. With a 23-yard return, they'll take it to the 21-yard line. A lot of funny numbers today. Cox handoff. And he'll get tripped up and stopped. Jonathan Sanchez gets a yard. From their own 21-yard line. Second down. Pressure coming. He'll throw on the screen. Pushed out of bounds for a 6-yard gain. Jonathan Sanchez has 2 total receiving yards today. Dustin Cox is 5 for 7 with a pick. Hand off. That's enough for a first. 6-yard gain. The clock is just over 3 minutes in the half. Hand off. And he'll get 3. 2nd and 7. Rutgers being very methodical here. They got risky to start and ended up with a pick and 2 stalled drives. Cox with time to throw. Intercepted! And he's got room to run. 15-10, 5 touchdown. Pick 6. Jermaine Brown. The strong safety, have yourself a day. Just sneaks in front of it, and he's gone. And Rutgers will take, or UConn will take a 2-score lead with 2:34 remaining in the half. It'll be 14-3 in favor of the visiting Huskies. Taken from about the 1 to the 20, and he's flattened. What a tackle. Monroe on the return. Oh, no, that's the 15. Pardon me. 1st and 10. Pressure coming. He'll throw this one. Caught. Steps out of bounds for 3. Nick Johnson with his first reception. Dustin Cox is 6 for 9. You actually don't love to see it because he has an interception today. 2 interceptions now with that pick 6. Cox is pressured. He'll throw this one over the middle. It'll drop to the ground. Incomplete. 3rd and 3. 2:13 to go in the half. Rutgers is 3 for 5. Just about 60% on 3rd down. Two for 5 on 3rd down. Throwing short on a screenplay. Doesn't fool anybody. Matt Buchanan will lose a yard. I think Matt Buchanan is also the name of Oregon's current starting quarterback, but yeah, 4th and 4. And they'll have to punt it. I bet. Oh, almost blocked that one. But that punt's deep. Taking to the 35 to the 40. He's got blockers, but he'll get to only about the 40-yard line. Heath Jackson is the punt returner for the Huskies. One thing I wish the computers were better at would be kicking and punt returns. I wish we had a couple more touchdowns. Ooh, here's a deep ball, and it's out of bounds. 2nd and 10. Matt Black heaving this one up there, also out of bounds. Let me get back to the stream. Pressure coming, but he'll throw this one over the middle. Oh, what a catch! Jed Edwards mossing the defender. Look at this. You got mossed from behind. Pressure coming. Oh, and he's sacked. Oh, I don't get the name for it because they're on the hurry up. Any news in the SoCon? I did have a score. William & Mary did beat VMI. They're currently in the lead in the SoCon North. Currently, the favorite in the conference with William & Mary on top of their division is Georgia Southern on the other side. The Mountaineers are the reigning SoCon champs. We'll have to see how that conference pans out. Here's the handoff to the fullback. No, that is Tim Berry, pardon me. Yeah, if you're just getting back, Danny, I mentioned the SoCon. Currently, we had William & Mary as score I just simmed a little while ago, beating VMI. Oh, whoa! That guy whiffs on a huge tackle. 50 seconds to go. He'll step out of bounds. First and goal for UConn to try and go up 3 scores. Throwing this one to the end zone. Intercepted, but it might be out of bounds. I think he stepped out of bounds on that one. But an athletic play nonetheless by the corner there. They'll give it to him. Cox back in the driver's seat. Wide open. Toes in bounds. Jeremy Monroe with a 14-yard gain. I thought that corner was out of bounds, but I guess the game knows better than I do. First and 10. Stepping way back is Dustin Cox. He'll throw this one to the right side. Incomplete. Jermaine Brown gets the deflection. He had a pick earlier. He was the guy who almost took it to the house. Yeah, specifically Razee called out UConn secondary, but it showed up today. Here's Dustin Cox throwing this one. Caught, but he steps out of bounds right after first and 10. Cortez McNeil was the one with the reception. Think about any other big things. Any big things to report? There's a big catch for Brad Vaughn. 22 seconds to go in the half. I will note we had a game go to 4 overtimes when we simmed beforehand so that Danny could do some of the graphics for 2KU Weekly, which is tomorrow night. Don't forget not to miss that. UConn leads total yards right now, 191 to 135. Cox with plenty of time throwing. Caught in traffic. First down for Gregg Kidd. The star receiver, that's his first of the day. Timeout for the Scarlet Knights, 17 seconds to go. Ball at about the 20. Tight end motions to the right. Cox with blockers. Pocket collapsing. He'll throw this one. Caught. Jeremy Monroe will get 14. Steps out of bounds. 10 seconds to go. It's first and goal from about the 6-yard line. Cox with time. He'll throw this one. Caught. Just short, but he's inbounds. They'll have to call a timeout, and they'll kick a field goal. It'll be 14-6 with 5 seconds They made a 40-yarder earlier. This one should be a chip shot. It's up, and it's good. There'll be 3 seconds on the clock. The Scarlet Knights, I believe, get it back in the second half. So this might have been a smarter play than to risk it. This will probably end things off here. The clock will run out, taken to the 24-yard line, and that'll be the end of the first half. It'll be 14-6 at halftime in this low-scoring defensive scrum. UConn on top. So we mentioned the 4 overtime game. UCF wins 68-60 in a Conference USA matchup against the Houston Cougars. We also had the Dave Show Truckers, valiant effort, but they would lose by 2 scores to the North Carolina Tar Heels. Danny, if you can check the scores in schedule chat for any scores I have posted, that would be appreciated.
David, thanks, guys. Just about set to start the third quarter.
As we're ready to kick off the second half, Rutgers does get the ball back. About the 24. It's really hard to read the numbers now. This looks like late season college football to me. I think the lines aren't lined up, but there's the handoff to Sanchez for about 7. It'll be 2nd and 3. If you are in the Discord, don't forget to join call with us later. We'll be simming the rest of the scores as well as having some fun little escapades aside from that. Also, don't forget to follow our Tumblr, tumblr.com/2KUniverse. Type A Joy presents 2K Universe. For more out of stuff. Here's a deep bomb, intercepted. That's turnover number 3, and we're all knotted up there. Jermaine Brown gets his 2nd pick of the day. Unreal. As I was saying, don't forget to check out Type of Joy presents 2K Universe on Tumblr. We're currently doing a series that's paused right now, but it is the big run there. It is the MLB postseason. A lot of fun stuff you can find there. I have other plans for that as well. As UConn in the driver's seat right now. They beat Rutgers. Their big target then would be UMass to end the year. Plenty of time here for Matt Black. Nobody near him. He'll throw this one over the middle. Caught for 22 yards. It's Marcus Hollis. Here's the catch again. Great job to double back and keep that ball from just bouncing in the snow. 1st and 10 here from the 40. I could barely even tell. Throwing over the middle, caught. 1st down. Jed Edwards. A score here would only put them up 2. Would only put them up 2 scores. Since Rutgers got that 2nd field goal, Jared Leslie has 7 tackles. for the Scarlet Knights. Throwing, intercepted, and he's got room to run. To the 50, the 40, 30, 20. Wrestled down at about the 8-yard line. Barrett Henry. I think he was the guy who got mossed earlier. Making up for a huge play. They're playing some white stripes. They're playing the Seven Nation Army, as this game is now an 8-point score away from being tied. We've been lacking in close games here on 2K Universe, on 2KU Saturdays. So hopefully we can get one tonight. Here's the handoff up the middle. Touchdown, Rutgers. Jonathan Sanchez gets the touchdown. Just barreled his way through. No one could stop him. And they're going for 2 here to try and tie the game. A 69-yard drive. That number just keeps appearing today. And there's a flag. I think it's a false start penalty. The very rare false start penalty at home. And they're going to have to try it from about the 7-yard line. They're going for 2 to tie the game. Plenty of time for Cox. He'll throw this one over the middle, and they got it. Jeremy Monroe will put 2 more points on the board, and this game is tied at 14. It's away. Way deep into the end zone. In the 5 to the 10, the 15 to the 20, about the 22-yard line. Heath Jackson getting 23 yards on the reception. Turnover Ice Bowl. This brings back some hard-nosed classic football. I'm sure Dave would love this. A yard for, I think that's the fullback, Jared Hill. Dave would love watching this. I don't think he'd love being here for this. Very chilly. He moved to Vegas for a reason. Throw over the middle to Nate Castillo for 6 yards. I might crack open a window for some realism. Jared Leslie has 8 tackles. UConn's 3 for 5 on first down, and they get stuffed. Only a yard on the play. Oh, and I think Tim Berry might be injured, and they'll punt it. Tied with about 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. It's 4th and 2, and they'll punt. Taken deep, and it'll pin them to about the 20. Taken to the 30, gets hit hard at the 32. Dustin Cox has had a hard time tonight. 3 picks, including that pick 6. And there's the head coach for the Scarlet Knights. Hoping he can see something good from his offense. Cox hasn't thrown a touchdown today. Bruised shoulder for Tim Berry. He will be back, thankfully. You would hate to see him go out. He's a key piece for UConn. Here's a throw over the middle. Caught. First down to midfield for Cortez McNeil. The phone is charging, by the way. I can see your chat now. Just on hand. Look at those first downs. 12 and 9. Only in the third quarter. We've seen that happen for entire games. That's crazy. There's nothing for Jonathan Sanchez. Just straight knifing. Leonard McAfee gets the tackle credit there. From midfield, 2nd and 10. Play action. Rolling right. He'll throw this to the opposite side. Intercepting. What a catch! And we're tied in interceptions again. It's 4 for 4. Like Wendy's. It's number 27. I'll have to look back at who that is, but that might be a third or that might be someone else getting another pick. We'll check back at the end of the game. And UConn gets the ball back. And they get a chance to take the lead. Throwing deep, wide open, first down. Jed Edwards gets to about the 46-yard line. 8 total turnovers. The scores are really just whoever can hold on to the ball longest. Bunched up on the right side, 1st and 10. Throwing over. I thought that was intercepted for a second. Marcus Hollis gets it to inside the 30. At about the 28-yard line, 1st and 10, 1:48 in the third quarter. We're all tied up at 14. Here's a throw short. Enough for the first down. Gets to about the 9-yard line. 14 yards for Marcus Hollis. He's at 122 and a touchdown today. Matt Black. 4 picks with solid stats other than that. 1st and 10 from about the 10-yard line. There's a handoff. I believe that's Barry once again. He's back. He pushes for 7 yards. Second and 3. The first down's at about the 4. But they're eyeing that end zone to take an elusive lead. On the toss. Nothing. Losing 2 yards. The TFL goes to Barrett Henry. Henry had a pick earlier. But the corner gets the TFL. 3rd and 5 in chilly Piscataway, New Jersey. 5 wide. Matt Berry throwing to the end zone. Touchdown. Jared Hill. And that's the halfback. You had another halfback on that set. And that's another touchdown to put the Huskies back in the lead. It'll be 21-14 with the PAT. It's on the way, and it's good. Still anyone's game here. Especially with how hard it is for these guys to hold on to the ball, it seems, here in these chilly conditions. I don't know how the Rutgers mascot does it. Actually, I know how he does it. He's in a big insulated suit. I would hope it's insulated. How cold it is out here. 52 seconds to go in the third quarter. Dustin Cox. Pressure coming. He'll get sacked. They'll call that an incompletion. It'll be 2nd and 10. I would argue tuck rule, but there's a handoff. Nothing. This might be another 3 and out for the Scarlet Knights. Unless they got a rat in the hat for 3rd and 10. As we'll take to under 30 seconds to go in the quarter. Handoff to Sanchez, and it will be a 3 and out. 4th and 13. Oh, he's injured. Oh, no. Oh, dear. That might be a devastating loss. They're going to try and block the punt. Kicks away. Deep. Taking to the 30, to the 35, to the 40. He'll weave his way to the 45. 18-yard return. I hope one day we can see one go all the way. Sanchez, elbow bursitis. He will be back soon. Again, you'd hate to see a player go out long term. Here's play action. Matt Black. Pressure coming. He's sacked. And that'll be the end of the third quarter. 21-14. Danny's certainly hoping that Rutgers can come back in this. He's been doing Danny's picks on our Discord server, and he always picks the game of the week. Currently, he's 0 for 6. He's 0 for 7, pardon me, when picking game of the week when picking 2KU Saturday. Hopefully, he can get out of this slump and finally get one right this year. Because there's a 7-yard gain. It'll be 3rd and 10. The underdog is heavily favored, but this is the first time in a while we've had this much control. Here's a big play. So at the 15-yard line, UConn trying to put some distance in between these two teams. Even in the red zone, you're not safe here, though. You saw what happened earlier today. Handoff up the middle. Tim Berry back in the game. We'll get 5. Can Rutgers force turnover number 9? Or will the Huskies punch it in? Running, he'll get short. Tim Berry, 5-yard gain. He'll be just short of the first down. It'll be 3rd and inches. I want to say about the 9-yard line. This crowd's electric. Pitch. He's got room to run. Touchdown, Jared Hill. He's run it and caught it in the end zone. And this gives the Huskies distance with 4:40 to go in the game. The UConn offense showing up late, but just in time to put them up 20 here in Piscataway. So Rutgers will get the ball back. It's not out of their own possibility to get back in this game. A 23-yard return from McLaurin. Here's 1st and 10. Cox had a rough day. Can he pull something magical here? They'll throw short for 3. Brad Vaughn on the reception. He's had 80 yards receiving today. 4:20 to go. Cox with time to throw. He'll be sacked. Leonard McAfee. First sack of the game. Gotta have chips. Just over 4 minutes. Here's 3rd and 14. Four minutes to go. He'll probably heave this open for something. Pressure coming. He'll throw it in the middle. Incomplete. No one's there. Ryan Thompson was the one who pressured that one. And they're going to punt it. I don't understand why he punted here, but he kicks it deep. Taking to the 40, to the 44-yard line. UConn still trying to score here. A yard will be gained by Tim Berry. Rutgers has all 3 timeouts. They're down 2 scores. You can still get turnover number 9. You never know. If you remember, there were a ton of picks in the West Virginia-Tennessee game earlier this year. Matt Black throwing. Swatted, almost picked off. The one-handed pick would have been insane there. UConn, that number shows up again. 6 for 9. 66% on 3rd down. Throwing over the middle, but Matt Black is 100% in these situations. Tim Spence gets 26 yards on the reception, and the clock will tick. 2:44 to go. Here's the handoff. I got nothing. Clock's still ticking. It'll go under 2 minutes. If Rutgers, you hope for a stop. It'll be stuffed. And there's the timeout for the Scarlet Knights. 3rd and 6. They need to stop here and pray that that UConn's kicker misses the field goal. Matt Black. He'll throw over the middle. Wide open, first down, and that might ice the game. So we'll take their second timeout. UConn can score here. Barry, nothing. One more timeout for Rutgers. Matt Black, Timberry to ice the game. He'll get a few yards. That'll run some clock down, but 2 yards short of the end zone. 3rd and goal, 1:30 to go. If you score here, you might leave too much time for Rutgers, though. So you gotta watch out. You're gonna let the clock wind down. 110, 109, 108. Let's snap at 103. Quarterback keeper. He's in. Touchdown, UConn. Matt Black's first running touchdown. And that will likely give UConn the win here. A minute to go, 35-14. Rutgers only have a minute if they want to come back in this one, which is likely an impossibility here. Oh, he's got room to run, though. He'll get 27 yards on the return. Look at all those defensive stats there. 4 combined sacks, 8 combined picks, 2 combined pass breakups. 56 seconds to go. If they want to pull something, Dustin Cox, he won't have time to heave it. He'll be sacked. But you gotta hurry. Tick, 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 tick. Then they'll spike the ball. It'll be 3rd and 17, 36 seconds to go. They're not coming back in this one, but anything's possible. Hopefully we'll still see some excitement in this game. Going to the sideline, caught. Was that inbounds? They'll say it is. There'll be 30 seconds to go, 1st and 10. Yeah, it was inbounds. Going over the middle, caught. And then you got to keep going. 20 seconds. UConn's about to win a big game for them. Unless the impossible happens. But what a play to take what a way to take over control in the Big East Conference. And a defensive scrum in the snow in Piscataway. UConn is about to take this big win. And likely, they'll probably rock it up in the standings. As there's the short throw, and that will do it. The clock will run, and UConn takes down the Scarlet Knights. Connecticut 35-14, the final score. That big pick six is the play of the game there. Statistically, it's not an upset, Kirk, because UConn was ranked higher going in. But it could be by spread because this was at Rutgers. But the Huskies now take the top spot in the conference. UMass will settle at second, Syracuse third, and Rutgers is likely not going to compete in this year's Big East Conference title game.
That's it for this presentation of NCAA Football 14.
35-14, the final score.
We'll see you soon.
That was an insane start to this game. 35-14, the final. Big pick and taken the other way on that one. There's a pick as well. If that one would have gone to the house, Scarlet Knights might have still been in this game. But the UConn defense and the Rutgers defense, for that matter, are what shined here. We'll take a look at some of the stats. Oh, my controller's off. Scoring summary. UConn scoring 14 in the second and the fourth. Rutgers completely scoreless in the fourth quarter. Start with the home team. Rutgers' Dustin Cox was 18 for 27, 206 yards, and 4 interceptions, a 66% completion average. Matt Black had a 175 QBR, 21 for 29, 371 yards, 2 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, a 72% completion average. This was not a QB's game. Unfortunately, we'll look at Rutgers running. Jonathan Sanchez had 29 yards total, a 1.8 yard rushing average. The rushing game wasn't there either. Actually, I gotta 83 total yards, an average 4.3 for Tim Berry. It was really we had 2 rushing touchdowns, none from Berry. Matt Black and Jared Hill both went in for 1. We'll look at UConn's receivers here first. Marcus Hollis, 122 receiving yards and a touchdown. A touchdown for the halfback Jared Hill as well. Jed Edwards had 102 passing yards. Rutgers' passing game was nowhere near that. For the receiving game, Brad Vaughn had 89 receiving yards, 39 for Cortez McNeil, the tight end, and 46 for Jeremy Monroe. On the defensive side is where we want to see 11 tackles for Jared Leslie, the free safety. Looking at sacks, 2 for Lance Johnson and 1 for Sam Carter. TFLs, 2 for Sam Carter, 2 for Barrett Henry, 2 for Lance Johnson, and 1 for Troy Cantrell. Yeah, in terms of total tackles, we mentioned Jared Leslie had the most. And in terms of interceptions, 2 for Barrett Henry, 1 for Zach Nicholson, and 1 for Marcus Young. As for UConn's defensive stats, the tackle leader was Aaron Tyler, the free safety. He had 6 solo tackles. The number 1 for TFLs, 2 for Leonard McAfee, 2 for Zach Parsons. In terms of sacks, there were 2 apiece, 1 to Leonard McAfee and 1 to Jacques Ingram. And picks, there were 4. Jermaine Brown had 2. He had a deflection. I believe he had he was the one with the pick 6. That was a big interception return, 19 yards. It was 38 yards, pardon me. Yeah, 2 for Jermaine Brown, 1 for Brian Collins, and 1 for Ryan Thompson. The Miami guy probably surprisingly held up pretty well in the winter weather. Looking at team stats, a lot of first downs, 18 for UConn to Rutgers' 11, 450 offensive yards to 224, 26 attempts, 79 yards, 2 TDs to Rutgers 19, 18, and 1. 18 total rushing yards. Wow. Rutgers was 18 for 27. They didn't get a single passing TD in this game. UConn was 21 for 29 with 2 passing TDs, 371 to 206 total yards, 9 for 12, 5 for 11. UConn had 75% on third down. Rutgers was 45. No one converted on fourth down. Rutgers did get a 2-point conversion. Rutgers was perfect in the red zone. UConn had some struggles. They were 50-50 in the red zone. 4 turnovers each, 8 combined interceptions. In terms of total yards, UConn ahead 579 to 343, and they just edged out Rutgers in time of possession. But that would be the total stats. We're going to head out. And that was a great game. That was a great game for a little while, at least. Rutgers wasn't able to keep up in the end as UConn pulled away in the fourth for a 35-14 win. Players of the game. Sean Batts was the offensive player of the game for Rutgers. He did have 2 field goals with a longest of 40 yards in a windy, snowy day. I'll give him credit for that. Barrett Henry had 5 tackles, 2 TFLs, and 2 picks. Jermaine Brown overall is definitely your player of the game. Tackle, TFL, 2 picks, including a pick 6. Marcus Hollis was the offensive player of the game for UConn. 6 receptions, 122 yards, and a TD. One more look at the post-game stats. UConn led basically everything. They tied with total turnovers. But ostensibly, this was UConn's game, and it's now UConn's division to lose. They currently sit on top. UMass, though, is right behind them. Those two clash in rivalry week to end the season. And that might become a marquee matchup now. Very interesting. UConn-UMass might be one of the most exciting games of this year. But we're going to take our leave now. Thank you all for watching. Once again, don't forget to join us for the Discord call coming up, as well as joining us as well as following the Tumblr page. And don't forget to tune in tomorrow night for 2KU Weekly. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next week.